And we are back. Thanks for staying with us.
Yes, we are. Emma is very, very interested about this one because there are some few similarities between a character that I guess played in a particular movie and MM herself. So there is this, there's this kind of understanding that, MM was very, very interested and excited about this one. And me also, on some other level, when they... Well, we have our guest today, Chika Elumelu. She has been there, done that, acting coach. She has, been in theater, of course, and all of that. And
she's a budding producer as well. And
you have to produce in Nigeria as a stand, so if you want to
get
some... Where are you producing your...
it's in the works, darling. Calm down.
At lead role.
You trust now.
You go pay well. I don't say you get money. Right. It's great to have you. You are welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You, let's talk about your origins as an actress. Do you call yourself an actress or an actor? First of all,
I'm a female actor.
A female actor?
Yes.
Okay, let's start there.
But colloquially, actress is acceptable.
Okay,
yes.
So, your origins and all of that. How did you get into Nollywood? How did you start in this industry?
Chika, the journey. Well, I have been very, very fortunate in this industry. I started because it started with a deal with my mother. I always had an audience from as far back as I can remember, like 6, 7. And she said, you know what, focus on your studies. If you come out with first class in school, then you can do whatever you want. And I think that was the deal that motivated me. I got into UI, aced my first year, And then for my second year, I just found out that it was very hard to separate that life, the artistic life, from who I was as a person. And so it didn't take me long before I hooked up with people in the creative arts and theater arts department. Shout out to theater arts department. I will not be here without them. And afterwards, she was like, okay, now you've done your part, you've aced your grades, and then you can go. And I think that spirit of just being a go-getter and going hard, doggedly at your dreams really has helped me has fueled my passion in the industry. And I got in, and I always say it's not really about your just your capabilities as an actor. I've had my people relations skills come into play. People find you memorable to work with, and you're like, oh, I need to refer this girl. So it's not about just Nami Sabi pass, but I think that I have actually had to build on a lot of momentum from the relationships that I have, and capacity building from the communities that I inhabit. So yeah, that's basically my journey. 2016, officially after school, so I'm 7 years in the industry.
7 years.
7
wow.
years.
I mean, it's been a journey for you.
It has been.
You also went to New York Film Academy.
Yes, so in 2011, during my gap year from QC, okay. I just thought, my pastor sponsored some of us who really had a penchant for artistic endeavors. And out of 12 people, I was 19 at the time, and I was actually one of the 12 people who passed the exam. Okay. And we went, and New York Film Academy had a 1-month course here, and then we had a diploma from acting for film. DME was in my class. Ijoma Neighbor was in my class, a couple of practitioners from that course.
You have talked about a few people that you studied with at the Film Academy, right? Now let's talk about expectations. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we decide to, go further with our, creative endeavors, right? Yes. From the Film Academy and where you are right now, do you think you are where you want to be as an actor?
It's a never-ending journey. I don't think there's anybody who can beat their chest and say they're where they are supposed to. Okay. But at the risk of sounding a bit conceited, no, it's not bragging. Okay. It's not bragging.
But it's okay,
I think that I'm well on my way in my 10-year plan. Okay. I felt like in my first 10 years in the industry, I would want to try my hands on producing, which is something I'm already doing. Okay. I would want to already feature in network productions. I've had 3 under my belt now.
You want to mention them? Okay.
Unbroken and Riona. Okay. And that has really grown my fan base. And so some of the things that I really set out for myself to do. Stage, I wanted to do everything. Stage, radio, drama, TV, commercials. I've done that in the last 2 years. Really, it's doing like this, it's doing like this. That's me. And, I've done a lot of exciting projects. And I'm 31, and I've tried roles in 40s and 50s. You know, I can say that my range has been pretty awesome for an
Fantastic.
actor my age.
Fantastic.
And so, yeah, I feel like there's so much more to be done. Now that I'm even going into, you know, deeper waters, you know, producing and technically producing a film festival where I serve as festival director, and it's new ground. It's beautiful opportunities on the horizon.
Beautiful, beautiful.
As an industry, yeah, looking at how well we've done, look at our music.
Yeah.
Understand? You know how center stage our music has been around.
Has
the world
taken, yeah, in the world.
And there is talk about how much Nollywood can do or has the potential to be there. How would you rate Nollywood? How far has the industry come? Based on what is available here, because you know the kind of challenges we have.
We know
here
the
and all of
challenges that we have.
But based on what we have here, how well have we done the best that we can? Because I feel like we've had films that have made the grade and and all the stuff. But when you look at the Oscars and international movies and features and all of that, we know that if it's going to come from Africa, we know some countries that it will come from. We have not really had that, that kind of that place that we know we should be over. How much more can we do?
I don't know if I'm an authority to speak on this, but I'll say this, something I always say when this argument comes up about in music industry. I think it's an unfair comparison. Take a song, for instance. You have a 3-minute song on average, right? It's easy for that song to travel and break ground. But how easy is it for a movie that's like 100 minutes, 120 minutes to go? So I don't think that the two industries should really be compared. However, I'm not saying that we cannot, take our spaces, and globally compete. And I think that the entrance of the streaming wars, I think, are really going to push things in the right direction, because now they're coming in. Amazon is here, Netflix is here, some other places, some other people are rumored. And I think that they're coming to jerk the system. And then people who have been like comatose, systems that I feel like they should, have more competition. I'm not going to mention some names. But, I think that we're getting in the right direction. And because we're exposed to what our counterparts abroad and, not even abroad, even in other African countries are doing, it's pushing us on an individual level. So, like, if every tree is taking care of itself, the forest is catered to. You understand that kind of thing? And then you have actors who are talking about, getting professional show reels now, getting on, applying to big festivals, to get acclaim. My film was, not my film, but the film I featured in was Berlinale, and and it was his debut film. Babatunde Akpalowo was, shout out, it was his debut, and he put himself out there and he got world acclaim. So I think that the more we begin to see that our competition is not really here, it's people who are, from all over the world, the more that the more that we can push ourselves.
Okay, great. Quickly, you talked about one of your movies that has recently gotten that global recognition, and that was Otana. Now let's talk about the character that you played in Otana, because it's very important. People really need to understand that actors are beginning to put themselves in positions where they're pushing the boundaries. You were in prosthetics for 2 days.
For 2 days, Saturday and
just
Sunday.
to play a certain character. Baby girl did not eat food.
But you know that.
So that's drinking water.
Budget is an issue. If Nayaki, they'll come out them.
Yeah,
they'll come the next day, put them back.
Exactly.
So, did you get 10 million for that role?
Yes.
10 million. So, like, Otana set was the most, I could feel the love. It was so palpable. Another reason I could do that, you already hit the nail on the head. It was budget constraints. We didn't have enough to, remove the silicone, deconstruct all of that and put it back again. And so I had to sleep like this, and people were helping me all along, and I couldn't get any solid food. And it was just the encouragement from everyone, just knowing that with the little that we have, we're making the best out of it, and I think that it wasn't about the money, definitely. It was just about making a mark and, being enjoyable to work with. That's basically it. So my cast members, they were really supportive.
I think for you, it was the environment.
It was just the environment and just knowing that this thing is worth it. It's not about Naira and Kobo. It's about putting work out there that you're really proud of. So, yeah.
Well done.
That's staying power.
Well done.
We have something for you. We know you earn 10 million plus. This is healthy food. It's not to 10 million, but shout out to you, just manage what we have here. Yes, we heard that some of you take 10 million, no? But we'll talk about that.